Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. Get ready to batten down the hatches. Snow is coming, and according to the forecasters, we're in for a lot. Plus, friends and family are grieving the loss of a Sudbury woman who died on vacation.
We thought she would be fine, like she was doing very well until she wasn't.
They see the response from this community has been overwhelming. And we'll have the latest on the return of the Northlander.
There were concerns about reliability and scheduling and some challenges that way.
Officials warn there's still more work to be done before it can resume.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Well, good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. We are dealing with another blast from Mother Nature, and this is a big one. This is how things looked outside our CTV News studio just a short time ago. Sudbury police urging people to take it slow, to drive with care, and if you don't have to be out in the roads, consider staying home. The city of Timmins, which has had more than its fair share, says Public Works is closely monitoring the weather this weekend. This live shot courtesy of the city. Crews will be deployed in priorities, starting with main arteries like Algonquin here and Riverside, collector roads like Shirley and Airport Road, and then residential streets. The city of Timiskaming Shores is warning people with this amount of snow, there could be a disruption in services. Here are the weather warnings we have in place right now, and it's really just one to speak of. That area in orange is a winter storm watch, calling for a major winter storm. Environment Canada calling for snowfall accumulations between 30 to 50 centimeters, near zero visibility, wind gusts of 70 to 80 kilometers an hour, and ice buildup. On top of it all, it's slated for Sunday into Monday evening. This is how Ontario 511 was reporting the road conditions in our area a short time ago. As you can see, most of the major highways around Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, Manitoulin, and the North Shore are reporting snow cover. Police have also been busy dealing with several crashes along Highway 400 and Highway 11 between here and Barrie, making it a tough trek over the evening hours. And it's looking like a similar deal over the course of the weekend. And we have breaking news tonight on two fronts. Right now, Sault Ste. Marie fire crews are on the scene of a three-story multi-unit building fire on Albert Street. The call came in late this afternoon. The live camera from the International Bridge, courtesy of Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, caught smoke billowing up from the area within the past hour. First responders at last check are still on scene. And we're also learning two people have died in a separate fire tonight, this one in Echo Bay. OPP were called to the scene just before 4 this afternoon to a home on Highway 17B. The crime unit and forensics unit have been called in to investigate a cause. CTV News is continuing to follow these stories and will bring you the latest as it becomes available. In other news, 4 people are facing charges in North Bay in connection to a murder investigation on Mulligan Street. Last month, police found human remains in the area, later confirming the body was that of a man who had been reported missing January 30th. Police have charged a 50-year-old woman and a 19-year-old man with first-degree murder, indignity to a dead body, and several other offenses. 2 other men have also been arrested in connection to the homicide. Family and friends are grieving the loss of a young woman from Sudbury who died while on vacation. CTV's Angela Gemmell reports.
Brooke Morneau loved pink Starbucks drinks, Taylor Swift music, being a nurse, and her fiance, Devin.
There's a lot of great characteristics there that we can unpack, but the main one is she was so caring and kind to everyone she met.
The 24-year-old's life was cut short when she died unexpectedly while on vacation in Dominican Republic. She'd been traveling with her fiancé and his family to celebrate his mom's birthday.
It actually was a nice day. It's too bad, like it's all shadowed now by what happened.
The Gavins say last Friday evening at the resort, Brooke said she felt off and went to bed. The next morning, she woke up vomiting and continued to feel ill. She and Devin went to see the medic at the resort, who called for an ambulance to take her to the hospital. That's where she died on Sunday.
We thought she would be fine, like she was doing very well until she wasn't. And then the next day she did unfortunately pass away.
The Gavins say the situation was made even worse by the language barrier of the hospital staff who only spoke Spanish. Now the family is left with unanswered questions like, what made this vibrant 24-year-old so sick?
I don't even have the words to describe what it's like, but say it's very awful to feel that way and to lose someone so quickly, someone so special to me.
In an email, her family says they weren't up to an interview due to the extremely devastating trauma of everything that happened, saying Brooke was deeply loved and they're heartbroken by the loss. After the death, Devon's brother started a GoFundMe to help pay to bring her body home to Canada, as well as the funeral and other expenses. The response has been overwhelming.
It brings some comfort in a time that comfort is very much needed, and it's heartwarming, really. There's so much gratitude, it's hard to express it.
Touched by the community support and across Canada, really.
Brooke was a nurse at Health Sciences North, where they've lowered the flag to half-mast in her honor. Funeral arrangements aren't yet complete, as the family is still waiting for her body to be returned to Canada. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Parents of two former U18 AAA hockey players in Timmins say their sons were subjected to hazing, bullying, and sexual assault while playing for the Timmins Majors. The families reported what they described as a continuing pattern of abuse towards their kids in January to Hockey Canada's independent third-party watch, which investigates these types of allegations. The families say they've not heard back and have since reached out to the Children's Aid Society and Timmins Police about the locker room culture. A lawyer representing the Timmins Majors says the team takes all matters related to player safety extremely seriously, but said he couldn't comment on the incident for the confidentiality of minors. You can read more on this full story on our website at ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. In North Bay, the provincial government provided an update today on the return of the Ontario Northlander. CTV's Madison Marier has the latest.
Politicians shared their excitement on the latest update about transportation in the north.
Our government has invested $138 million to acquire 205 kilometers of railway with the purchase of the Newmarket Rail subdivision between North Bay and Washago.
The 205-kilometer stretch was previously owned by CN Rail, but with the acquisition, the province aims to ensure more secure and reliable transportation throughout Northern Ontario.
There were concerns about reliability and scheduling and some challenges that way. Part of the concern was that interplay of freight rail and passenger rail. So with the province owning this chunk of rail, we have control over those schedules. We can prioritize the passenger rail, and we can make the freight rail more efficient at the same time.
The Northlander will be back on the rails in Northern Ontario after the McGuinty government cancelled it in 2012.
With ONTC owning this line, we can take opportunities to work with them, with our local businesses, to see how it can all integrate and ultimately expand business and grow jobs.
You'll see when the train cars get here and begin operation, you'll see the addition of dozens of employees. There'll be a more accurate number come out in the near future. But if you go into the Ontario Northland facility, it's just booming.
However, there is still more work that needs to be done before the train hits the track.
Once all the commissioning and testing is done, it'll be later this year that we're confident we'll be in service with it.
Madison Marier, CTV News, North Bay.
The largest employer in Bruce Mines is working on a project to make shipping trap rock more environmentally friendly. CTV's Corey Northstrom reports.
It's the off-season at the Ontario Trap Rock Quarry in Bruce Mines, except for some work being done thanks to a $6.4 million investment from the federal government.
What this is allowing us to do is to build a 2-kilometer-long conveyor system to move the stone from the quarry down to the dock, which is on the other side of Highway 17, and then will allow us to do live loading of ships, the Great Lakes freighters, as they come in, as opposed to now, where we have to stockpile material on the dock and then ship it out.
This money comes from Canada's Green Shipping Corridors program, but with trap rock typically being used for railway ballast, asphalt, and concrete, it aligns with other government plans.
Think of all the highways, think of all the transit that we're building, think of all the rail that we're building right across this country from east to west. This is at the very base of everything that we need to accomplish as a country.
The environmental benefits for the project are twofold. Not only will the conveyor negate the number of diesel trucks heading back and forth from quarry to port, but it makes use of a marine shipping system where one ship can move the same amount of aggregate as 301 rail cars or 964 trucks.
If we use boats and we use our geographical location, which we are the hub of the Great Lakes. The markets that Bruce Mines can access are unlimited because not only in Canada, they can also access the American market.
Without rock trucks constantly crossing the highway, there's believed to be added safety benefits as well.
There are people that speed through town, are not going the speed limit, and they could very easily come up on a truck that has just started to pull out. So by going underneath the highway, definite improvement.
The conveyor should be operational by the summer. Officials expect the new system will increase output volumes by 25% and lead to hiring. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Bruce Mines.
Today in Sudbury, the province welcomed Ontario Mine Rescue to the Ontario Corps. It's the province's newest partner as it builds a network to protect communities during emergencies and natural disasters. CTV's Elena Everson reports.
The Minister of Emergency Preparedness and Response signs a Memorandum of Understanding with Ontario Mine Rescue at the agency's head office in Sudbury.
Well, we're seeing that the frequency as well of some of these emergencies or disasters happening in areas. So we want to have that coordinated approach that when a municipality reaches out to the Provincial Emergency Operations Centre, we're able to coordinate from the top up to provide those additional supports to help build the capacity in communities.
We have our mine rescue stations set up in 9 different communities across the province. So from Windsor, Ontario, right to Red Lake, Ontario. And we train just over 1,200 mine rescue volunteers annually.
The Ontario Corps was formed in 2024 and is creating a network of partners and volunteers ready to respond to local emergencies and quickly deploy critical resources.
Seeing in our country, a lot of things changing. Everything from climate changes leading to events like the minister spoke about a huge ice storm in her community last year, and we also have some geopolitical instability. So we don't know what the world brings tomorrow.
As we go around the north, we know the distances, so we know the collaboration between like this and all our small communities. What it means to everyone when we know that if there is a disaster in your area or a weather event, that there's going to be help coming, and we share that responsibility.
Ontario Mine Rescue says its responders are trained to operate in conditions where visibility is low. Hazards are complex, and decisions need to be made quickly and safely. By connecting with Ontario Corps, it's extending this expertise beyond mine sites. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the current conditions, and that snow is continuing to come down over several parts of our broadcast region. -10 at Chapleau, -8 in Timiskaming Shores, -7 in Sudbury, -2. Lots of snow down in Parry Sound, -6 in Sault Ste. Marie. We'll have more details coming up just after the break.
Welcome to the weekend. We've got some big snow happening on Sunday, late Sunday, continuing into Monday. But first, this is what we've got going right now. Forecast radar, the system hovering over northeastern Ontario for today. Some snow and some snow overnight, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. Here's the system that's going to be stationary. It's a low pressure system, a Colorado low. Lots of snow to the north and rain, freezing rain to the south. Here we go with our Northeastern Ontario overnight conditions. Sudbury Nickel Belt, we've got 5 centimeters of snow, 2 to 4 in the Sault, partly cloudy Timmins, 2 to 4 in Timiskaming Shores and North Bay, another 5 centimeters. Meanwhile, wind chill Moosonee -29, -23 in Caphurst. Chance of flurries Wawa, Gore Bay 5 centimeters and Parry Sound 5 centimeters as well. Now your conditions. Chance of flurries tomorrow -3, snow, freezing rain late Sunday afternoon, evening, sleet on Monday at 3, chance of flurries on Tuesday, -6 Wednesday with the sun and cloud. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, sunny skies for tomorrow -2, some snow, lots of it on Sunday at -3, starting late in the day, blowing snow and snow Monday -6, -9 Tuesday, chance of flurries, cloud cover Wednesday at -5. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, sunshine tomorrow -6, chance of snow on Sunday, blowing snow and snow Monday -8, -13 Tuesday, chance of flurries, and Wednesday some sun and cloud at -7. Timiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, periods of snow for tomorrow -4, some snow, lots of snow, and of course that snow has been lingering for the last couple of days in Timmins, Temiskaming Shores, and Kirkland Lake. -6 degrees your high. Monday, some sleet, 0. Not good there. Tuesday, chance of flurries, -11, -7 Wednesday with the sun and cloud. And finally, in North Bay, West Nipissing, chance of flurries tomorrow, -3. Snow on Sunday. It's coming. -3 degrees your expected high. 3 with the sleet on Monday. Tuesday, chance of flurries, -10 on the cool down. Then it warms up a bit Wednesday. Sun and cloud, -5. Even -1 by next Thursday with the chance of flurries. So again, not too bad until Sunday. That major storm system to hit the Northeast will arrive by late Sunday afternoon into the evening. Again, to the south, rain, freezing rain. To the north, more snow, Ian Campbell. So get ready. Monday is not looking very good at this time. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Rick. Well, the Ford government is introducing legislation which would exclude documents from the office of the Premier, his cabinet, and parliamentary assistants from Freedom of Information requests. CTV's Siobhan Morris has more tonight from Queen's Park.
It's a shift in Ontario's Freedom of Information law that will keep more records and decisions in darkness. The government says it's modernizing 40-year-old legislation that doesn't reflect how people connect.
We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have cloud computing. We didn't have even email. Email was very new at the time.
A bill to be introduced this spring would mean records from the Premier, cabinet ministers, parliamentary assistants, and their offices wouldn't be available to journalists or members of the public. That covers virtually all progressive Conservative MPPs and their staff.
This government has probably been one of the most transparent governments in the history of Ontario.
The leader of the opposition sees this quite a different way.
This is I'll start by saying that.
Unconvinced by the government's rationale.
No government is going to shut down freedom of information laws unless they're trying to hide something.
The changes a new challenge to get answers.
This shows that Doug Ford is only trying to protect himself and his government.
The plan is to apply the eventual law retroactively. That could hit requests already in the pipeline.
You call myself on my cell phone number.
There's a multi-year fight to peek into the personal phone the Premier uses for work.
I'm quite certain that the litigation will be moot because we won't be able to get the Premier's phone records. So, the timing is very interesting. It does seem as though the Premier has a personal interest in this legislation.
The fact that Ontario says it's lining up laws with other provinces and the federal government
does not justify the Ford government adding an excessive secrecy loophole and layer of secrecy that will lead to even more corruption, waste of the public's money, and abuses of power.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
There is more pain at the pumps for drivers trying to hit the road for March break. Gas prices went up overnight and they are expected to continue to rise this weekend. CTV's Mike Walker has details.
Paying more each time to fill up has become the expectation this month. But for Abe, it's hard to watch that total now surpass $100.
Upset, but I have no choice.
After a one-day reprieve, gas prices across the GTA spiked 6 cents overnight to around $1.58 per liter. And analysts are predicting further increases heading into March break.
Well, it's going to make me look more towards driving a little bit less.
Dan McTagg with Canadians for Affordable Energy says prices will increase 11 cents over the weekend.
You'd have to go back really to the summer of 2024. The last time we saw prices pushing towards $1.70.
The price of diesel now well over $2 per liter. How often are you filling up?
Oh, every second day.
It's a lot for Helen, who works in the film industry and commutes to different locations across the GTHA.
It's the problem. With my job, I can say, okay, I'm not driving too much.
Analysts say the longer the U.S.-Israel war with Iran continues without any resolution, the price at the pumps will become more uncomfortable for consumers, despite efforts by the International Energy Agency to release 400 million barrels of oil reserves.
The longer this goes, the greater the risk, the greater the drop in supply. And as demand continues, only price can really respond to that. So that's why I believe next week we're going to continue seeing increases.
Economists say that uncertainty fueling more pressure on crude oil prices and will only drive up inflation.
If oil stays around $100 a barrel, then projection is that inflation is going to rise to over 3%. Anytime the price of oil goes up, and we've seen a 50% increase in the price of a barrel of oil just over the past couple of weeks, that has these filter through effects to the prices of basically anything that you buy at a store.
Paying more for just about anything has Abe worried.
Not working anymore, so for me right now, costs are going to go up and I'm going to feel it.
Mike Walker, CTV News.
There's more to come tonight on CTV News. For now, let's go to a live shot of the Sudbury Water Tower. This shot courtesy of the Sudbury Wolves. There it is. Lots of snow falling in the city at the moment. Big night for the Wolves, too. We'll have more on that in a second. You're watching CTV Northern Ontario. We had two OHL teams on the ice tonight, and down at the Sudbury Arena, it was Ron Duguay night. Fans of all ages came down to take in the game against the Brantford Bulldogs. It was a big game tonight with Sudbury looking to punch its ticket to the playoffs. But more importantly, money from every ticket sold went to support former Wolf and NHLer Ron Duguay, who is battling cancer. And it was a tough matchup, and things exactly didn't go Sudbury's way. In fact, it was a blowout. Brantford, still reeling from last night's loss to the Troops, shuts out Sudbury tonight. They win 4-0. Good news is, or the silver lining, the Brampton Steelheads lost. That means the Sudbury Wolves clinched tonight the Eastern Conference's final spot in this year's playoffs. All three of our northern teams are heading to the postseason. Meanwhile, Marco Minosa had his 300th game with the Greyhounds tonight, and this was a tough one, facing off against powerhouse the Firebirds down in Flint. The Sioux get 2 on the board, and that would be it. They fall south of the border to Flint 5-2. And a heartbreaker of a loss tonight in Noelville. It was a back-and-forth one down there in French River, but the Rapids fall 4-3 in overtime. The Hearst Lumberjacks fall to the Powassan Voodoo tonight by a score of 6-4. The Timmins Rock put on quite the show down at the MAC for the visiting Kirkland Lake Gold Miners. They win 8-0, and the Sudbury Cubs take a commanding lead over the Espanola Paper Kings. Sudbury wins here 12-1. Third grader Rogan Parsons of Sudbury has done something special to honor his mother. Rogan got his first haircut ever last week and has donated his hair for cancer patients. His sister Storm cutting off his long braid in honor of their mom Amelia, who's battling cancer. Rogan says donating his hair made him feel good. He has a stylish new haircut and has helped someone in need with his donation. Finally for us tonight, a northern athlete recently took home first place at the Strongwoman World Championships U57 division. Today she shares her passion for the sport that she says saved her life. CTV's Lindsay Alick has more.
Brianne Tessier landed on top of the podium, taking home first place at the Strongwoman World Championships earlier this month in Ohio. But life wasn't always this way.
If I could turn my life around from doing 20 Percocets a day for almost 2 years to winning a world championship, that's a huge 180. And I just want people to realize that it's possible so that they don't quit, they don't give up, they don't quit on themselves. You know, like, you can do it. You can turn your life around completely. You can literally be a world champion. All you have to do is believe.
Tessier grew up playing sports, but stopped when she left post-secondary. She says that's when her addiction began. In 2020, she was introduced to strongman competitions, but didn't take it seriously until she became sober 3 years later.
I think we had the regionals in Elliott Lake, and that was the first comp I had went to since I was decided to lock down. And the atmosphere was amazing. I cannot describe the strongman atmosphere to anybody. It is so crazy. The vibe, the confidence, the energy in there is unreal.
She won regionals and has now gone on to win on the world stage and has even broken world records.
I did actually recently set a world record for the log, and that one was 167 pounds. I also do hold a world record, the world record for the deadlift, the axle deadlift. So that is 374 pounds. I weigh 125. Like, I'm almost hitting 4 times my body weight.
Tessier says if her story inspires even one person, that is her goal. As for competing, she is preparing for regionals, which will happen later this spring, and she will continue her Strongwoman journey as long as her body allows her to. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Way to go, Brianne. An inspiring story for all of us heading into the weekend. That takes us to the end of our newscast. We hope you have a wonderful weekend and try to stay warm. We're in for a lot of snow, and we'll see you right back here Monday night. Thanks for watching. Good night.